going on, YouTube? Back with another video. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna go with this video, but I'm just gonna start talking and see how it goes. I guess my first major financial mistake started. I believe my first major financial mistake started when I was 21 or 20, just before my son was going to be born. I ended up going to the dealership for the first time to get a car. The car I wanted was a Camaro. You know, my homeboy, he was like, why would you get a Camaro when you finna have a kid? You know what I'm saying? And you know, but I had already had a cash car. You know, I had bought I'm gonna post a picture. I had a 2005 Chevy Impala that I bought for like $1,750. That wasn't my first car I bought. My first car I bought was a 2001 Buick LeSabre. Buick. A 2001 Buick Century. That was my first car I bought. The car had ended up shutting off on me on Miller Road 2 or 1 at the pipe yard. I was going to go apply for a pipe yard, and made the turn, and mug just locked up on me. The guy I bought it for, he came and picked it up, gave me some of my money back. Guy had by the name of Hamza Bushilkia, you know what I'm saying, we was working at the pipe yard. He was, you know, so I was slowly getting my money back, and he was like, man, you drove that man car for like a month or 2 months, you know what I'm saying, you should let him keep some of the money, just to be fair. And so, which I did. So I ended up getting like $1,200 back. I had saved probably like $500 to $1,000. And I'm getting the 2005 Chevy Impala, you know what I'm saying, for $1,750. But anyway, but my first financial mistake was moving out of my grandma's house at 18 going on 19. 'Cause I moved out like in December. I graduated in like May or something like that, and December, you know, I went to work, like I took off like 2 weeks from school, and then, you know what I'm saying, I went to that don't matter. But anyway, my first financial mistake was getting this going to the dealership to get a car with no credit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I had saved up a nice amount of money, whatever, and you know, I started buying stuff. You know, people always say, you know, when kids get here, you know what I'm saying, all your money gonna go to that and XYZ and all that. So I was like, man, let me go buy the stupid things that I want to buy while I got the money. You know what I'm saying? I already prepped for everything I had, you know what I'm saying, clothes, you know, I had shoes for my son and all this. So I'd already bought all that. So I was like, okay, let me go get me a newer vehicle, you know what I'm saying, I'll get something that I want, you know what I'm saying, my own little toy, which was going to be a Camaro. So I went there, you know, had no credit, didn't know how the process worked. I brought my my uncle with me, but the thing is, no men in my family like that I just was gets close with. None of them have went to a dealership, so you know what I'm saying. So it was like none of them had ever bought a car from a dealership. You know what I'm saying. Nobody really in my family ever really just made, like I said, close proximity, that had ever made real good money. The uncle that, not the uncle that went with me, but the uncle that's truck driving, he probably made some good money, but that wouldn't have went in a good way with him anyway. So I really had nobody to like get advice from, you know what I'm saying, to learn off of. So all these mistakes happen for a reason, you know what I'm saying. And like I said in previous videos, these videos are also for my kids, you know what I'm saying, just in case, you know what I'm saying, they can see these videos if they actually watch them and have a good attention span. They can maybe learn something if I'm not there to teach them, you know what I'm saying, or anything. But anyway, my uncle also didn't have credit. He had just started working on this credit. So, you know, they ran my credit, whatever, and they ran my credit, And of course, I wasn't, I had to pick a bigger down payment. So I'm like, okay, can I use my uncle as a co-signer? Your credit had to be, I think they said your credit, the co-signer least credit had to be like a 620, 650. So he wasn't no help. So I ended up hitting maybe $2,500 down, $2,000 down. That was a big mistake there, but you know what I'm saying, not knowing no better. So I ended up getting a 2012 Chevy Impala. Can't remember how many miles on. It was low miles. You know what I'm saying? I was paying like $500 something a month. You know what I'm saying? At like, through credit acceptance, I was paying like 21% interest. Biggest financial mistake that still basically haunted me to this day, because once I started, I just couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of the process of having well, actually, no, I ended up, like I said in previous video, if you know what I'm saying, I paid that car off because I ended up losing that Harvey. So I ended up paying the vehicle off. I ended up getting a cash car while I was still paying on this vehicle that I lost. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up getting out of it. And then, you know what I'm saying, through emotions or whatever, basically like the same thing, I ended up putting myself back into the same, you know what I'm saying, same predicament, but a little bit better, but still a bad predicament of getting a depreciating asset. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't have that knowledge of depreciating assets and things like that. So I think I ended up getting a couple years, maybe a year or two later, I ended up getting a 2018 Infiniti Q50. I forgot how much I bought it for, maybe $23,000 at the time. From CarMax for only 7K miles. I remember that for sure. I might have some pictures of me driving the car, but I don't think I have no pictures of the car. Cause I went and looked when I was looking for some pictures when I had wrecked it, but you know what I'm saying, well, I didn't wreck it. You know what I'm saying? When it got wrecked, I was looking for that picture. I think I deleted it like sometime last year, because I was like, well, why do I still got this picture? So I ended up deleting them. So that was my second financial mistake. I bought that out of emotion too, because I got hit with a 13-year payment. You know what I'm saying? Through the government. So I got hit with a 13-year payment through the government. So I was like, man, and I was always told, you know what I'm saying, that government payment is gonna basically be a deduction of your income. So they're gonna always, so when you go to get something, they're gonna take that away from your income and mess up your approval odds and your interest rate and all this blah 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 BS. So I ended up getting that car. I only put like $500 down for that. I didn't have to put nothing down. I just paid $500 down, and I was paying like $600 a month for that. So it wasn't really a big jump, and I was making more money at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was making way more money at the time, so it was, it wasn't a big percentage of my income. I can't remember exactly what my income was at that time, but it didn't make a big percentage of my income, but that money could have been going to something it could have been going to something better. I also didn't have a cash car at the time. This time I had a 2006 Buick LaCrosse. I love that car, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it needed at that time was like a racket pinion, you know what I'm saying? I had the steering thing had busted or something like that, so I needed a whole new racket pinion. That was my uncle had said. You know what I'm saying? And I think at the time he had said, it was like, don't quote me, it was like $300 or something for a new racket pinion, and I was going to do it myself because my uncle was a mechanic. You know what I'm saying? So that was financial mistake number 2. And then when that car ended up getting wrecked, whatever, it took them like 6 months to repair the car. When I got the car back, I ended up paying so much on it, so I only owed, I was so far ahead on paying the car, because I was planning on paying the car off, you know what I'm saying, and end up car ended up getting wrecked, so I stopped paying on it because I was so far ahead. So I was waiting for it to get fixed before I started making payments on it. So, you know, the interest started going back up on it, whatever. And when I ended up getting it back, the $10,000 ended up going back up to $12,000 because I wasn't making no payments. Because it took them like 3 months to fix the car because I ended up going to Crash Champions, but they named it something else previously. And they only had one mechanic. So when I get the car back, it didn't feel the same as when before it got wrecked. So so that made me upset. So I ended up motioning again. I ended up taking that car. And going straight to the dealership like within a week. You know what I'm saying? Less than a week, maybe a day or two. You know what I'm saying? After I seen that it wasn't driving the same, I ended up taking it to a dealership. I found, and then I was you know, my wife was pregnant at the time with my last child, which is my daughter. Was pregnant with her, and we needed a bigger vehicle. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of nieces and nephews coming around all the time, so we needed a bigger vehicle at the time. So, and yeah, I could have got something else, but I wanted what I want. You know what I'm saying? I was always saving money. It's never like I was just doing so financially bad. I was always able to save money. I was never just so negative in the red. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't making no progress. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like that. So I end up since I had so much equity, I was end up able to sell a car to the dealership, trade in whatever, for $20K, and that's gonna be the subject of my next my next video. I was able to sell a car for $20K. You know what I'm saying? Minus the $12K, so I was able to put the $8K towards my 2019 GMC Denali at the time, the one I got rid of last October, and I put that, you know, right here to pay off whatever. I was able to get that car for. So I had the Q50 for 16% interest, and I ended up getting into a Denali with 9% interest. So I was able to put that 8K towards the GMC Denali, whatever. So I didn't have to pay no money down, whatever. And so it took them forever and a day to do that. So I was able to get that car, and I ended up having to pay $985 a month. So I just kept going up and up and up. Like I said, that one decision to get a car note, and tacked on with the motion, just kept, you know what I'm saying, tracking it on. But I don't regret it because I was able to get that all out my system in my 20s. I was able to get pretty much every car. Not every car that I wanted, but I got to experience a truck because I always wanted a truck because, you know, when flooding started happening, like, man, you need a truck in Houston because so much flooding was happening in Houston. So, like, man, it'd be good to have a truck. So I was able to get a truck, you know what I'm saying? The Infinity was like a sports car, it's fast, smooth, all that. So I was able to experience that. So you know, all these decisions. Man, what was the subject? I done lost the train of thought. We were watching what this dude doing. But anyway, yeah, all those, that first major financial mistake, whatever, followed me all the way to my 30s, pretty much. And yeah. So if you made it this far, which I doubt you, please consider like, comment, subscribing. You know what I'm saying, comment down below all your first major financial mistakes, if you have any. Everybody have some, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying, I'm just letting mine be known, whatever. Just telling my experience, telling my story, whatever. So if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Peace.